Are you still skeptical about Jesus? Let me give you some facts, some undeniable truths that no one has been able to disprove for over 2,000 years. Let me show you why. If you don't believe in Jesus yet, you truly have nothing to lose and everything to gain. There's a reason I'm not ashamed to say that Jesus is the King. Jesus' life was not a coincidence. It was purpose-driven and planned long before he was born. These weren't vague predictions. They were specific details written hundreds of years before he came. And yet Jesus fulfilled every one of them, even down to the very last words he spoke on the cross. Let's take a step back 700 years before Jesus was born. The prophet Isaiah wrote that the Messiah would be born a virgin. Isaiah 7:14. Micah, writing about the same time, said the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem. Micah 5:2. But the details don't stop there. Psalms 22, written by King David, almost 1,000 years before Jesus, describes a death by crucifixion. Long before Romans even invented it. It says his hands and feet would be pierced, and that the people would gamble for his clothing. Sound familiar? These prophecies weren't general predictions. They were exact descriptions of events that unfolded in Jesus' life. And there are over 300 of them. The odds of one person fulfilling just 8 of these prophecies is astronomically small. 1 in 100 quadrillion. But Jesus doesn't stop at 8. He fulfills them all. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood moments in Jesus' life. His words on the cross. In his final hours, Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Some people hear this and think, was Jesus giving up? Was he doubting God? But the truth is far more profound. Jesus was quoting Psalms 22:1, the very psalm that prophesied his crucifixion. He wasn't giving up. He was fulfilling that last prophecy. By quoting Psalm 22, Jesus was pointing everyone back to that psalm, which describes his suffering and his death with stunning accuracy, far from being a cry of defeat. He was showing the world that his mission was complete, that he had fulfilled everything that had been written about him. But maybe you're thinking, okay, but is there even proof that Jesus was real? Yep. Beyond the Bible, there's historical evidence from non-Christian sources. The Roman historian Tacitus and the Jewish historian Josephus. Both of them confirm that Jesus lived, that he was crucified by Pontius Pilate, and that his followers claim that he rose from the dead. There's more evidence for the life of Jesus than there is for figures like Julius Caesar. But here's the thing. It's not just historical records that prove Jesus. It's the billions of lives that he's transformed, including mine. So why does all of this matter? Because Jesus didn't come to fulfill prophecies and make history. He came for you. He lived the life that we couldn't live and died the death that we deserved. Through him, we have the chance to know God personally and to experience real freedom from sin, shame, and even addiction. And trust me, I know how real that freedom is. Jesus can take the worst situations and redeem them. He can bring healing and hope where it feels like there's none left. He's done it for me, and he can do it for you. Jesus fulfilled hundreds of prophecies to show us he is who he says he is, the Son of God and the Savior of the world. And his final words on the cross weren't a cry of despair. They were a declaration that his work is finished. You only get one life. Don't waste it chasing things that won't last. If you've ever wondered if Jesus is real, if he is who he says he is, look at the evidence. And more than that, take this step to know him for yourself. You matter to him, and I promise you, your life will never be the same once you let him in. And if you know someone who's doubting Jesus, send them this video. Ask them what they think. Challenge them. How can you deny the existence or the greatness of Jesus when even history for over 2,000 2,000 years hasn't even been able to put a dent in his name. The evidence is there. The question is, are you ready to see it?